Movement patterns you're going to need to be able to hip escape. So my foot goes to the floor. It could be either foot, getting onto my shoulder, scoot my hips away, then bring my heel back to my butt. So I can do either leg to go forward and back. I could use both legs to go forward and back. We need to be able to walk, so I can get up onto my side, invert my toes, and walk back. I should be able to walk forward. We need to be able to bridge. So I drive off of my outside leg, and I take a big step. Notice how my knees bent, my toes are engaged with the floor, my heel faces the ceiling. Okay, so I can bridge, get to this position. Now from here, it's that same position, so I can walk forward, I can walk back. Now I can drive off of this leg as well and get up to my knees. Okay, so it'd be 1, 2, 3. It's a 2-stage bridge. We need to be able to back heist, so I get onto my side with my elbow to my hip, my head forward and into a bowl. So I scissor my legs, get up hips first. Again, you can do this into a shoulder roll. Lastly, you need to be able to inverted spin. So best way to learn this, if you can back roll, you can inverted spin. So I back roll over on my shoulder, don't go over your neck. We don't want to have our head in between our knees. We bring our head outside of in between our knees. Both feet come to the floor. Now, the opposite side, so my head's on this side. The opposite side leg goes underneath. Okay, we end up back into a supine position. Okay, then eventually you get to the point where you don't need to bring that foot to the floor. You can just go straight up and underneath. Okay, so those are the ones you're going to need to be able to do the techniques today. Last week we covered how to escape a squared side control. From this squared side control, we looked at the knee elbow escape, right? So he got his frames in, he hip escaped, he connected his knee and elbow, right? Now from here, he ends up pushing away. Okay, now from here, he can get his legs back in, and he's back to guard. Your opponents will recognize that that knee elbow escape is coming. So what they'll do is move to a dropped hip. So to try and get rid of this space. So from here, when I straighten out this leg, now from here he tries to knee elbow escape. It's really difficult. What we're going to look to do is you're going to have the bottom player try to knee elbow escape. You're going to have the top player just try and hold the position. Now, you can make the top position awful for the bottom player. One of the best ways to submit someone isn't to like overpower them and like snap on a quick submission. That is one way you can do it, right? But I want to steal as much gas from the bottom player as I can. So you do this through pressure. And as well, if he's trying to knee elbow escape, if I apply pressure in the right way, if he keeps trying to hit this escape, he's using the wrong key for the lock. From here, if I'm squared, the right key is to do that knee elbow escape. By dropping the hip, now from here, he's using the wrong tool to try and get out of this type of side control. If I have my hands together, I've essentially got a crossface and an underhook. Most people think that I start driving weight and pressure through the crossface. The problem with this is that although the pressure is kind of on his jaw, from here it's not so bad, and he can start clamping his elbow down and start bridging and taking me up and over. Okay, that is unforgivable. If you get reversed, it's 10 push-ups, right? That is unforgivable. So how do we apply pressure? What I'm looking to do is I'm straightening out my leg. Okay, I'm sitting on his chest. Now, currently my elbows are on the floor, my knees are on the floor. What I'm going to do is take my knees off the floor. We can make this worse by taking our elbows off the floor. I can make it even worse by leaning my ribs into his diaphragm. Okay, if I'm here and I'm in a concave position, so this is concave, or I'm rounded, this is convex. So if I'm in a concave position, Tom, can you speak?
Yeah. Fine.
It's not so bad, right?
Yeah.
If I go convex, take my elbows off the floor, I will also close my right elbow, flare my left, and try and lift him up. Now, my knees are off the floor, and I want you to imagine your thigh hairs are just touching and scraping the ground. I don't want to be up too high. That'll give him too much space to get his knee back in. So my thigh hairs are on the floor. But now, Tom, can you speak?
Yeah, it's more pressure.
Okay, this is where you want. So if he's trying to knee elbow escape, from here, right, a minute of this, and he's going to be absolutely cooked. I want you to grab a training partner. Okay, they've got a minute, and they're only trying to knee elbow escape. Okay, you're trying to apply as much pressure as you can. Hands are locked, straighten out our back. We want to lean all of our weight into our ribs. I currently have my elbows on the floor, but my elbows will be off the floor. My toes get engaged with the mat. Okay, my thigh hairs are scraping the mat. My weight's all in my ribs on him. Okay, we want to make sure there's no space for him to get his knee in. Okay, we're lifting him up, closing our right elbow, flaring our left. He wants to get onto his side and face you. You want to keep him flat. All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so as you probably found, right, trying the elbow escape, it's very tiring. So how do we escape this position? It becomes extremely difficult to try and turn to face him. Okay, between the dropped hip, the pressure, right? The thing I have to get comfortable with initially is the pressure. So I have to shift the pressure off my diaphragms. And if I'm trying to solve this problem while I'm carrying his weight, it can be so fatiguing. We're going to be looking to do the ghost escape. The way the ghost escape is traditionally done, you would bring this hand to his hip, to his far hip here, and we'd be looking to start turning, getting out the back door, and getting towards here, and then starting to get up into front headlock. I always had a problem with this escape in that when I bring my hand to here, it signals to him what I'm going to do. Also, if he puts all of his weight into my hand, now my hand's trapped and I can't start moving here. Now from here, he can actually start attacking things like north-south strangles. I don't have a frame on this side. Okay, so if you lift up for me. So I don't want my hand like this. This is not a strong frame. I'm using my delt to do this. Okay, that's not going to be strong. Instead, I want to be here like this. So I'm externally rotated, my thumb points down. It can be anywhere between his thigh and his knee, depending on how long his body is. So from here, I can actually push him down and away. This also allows me to, if I want to go out the back door, I can remove my thumb, I can go straight out the back door. If I have to get my hand back, I can easily take it back. So if we go back to that position, just be careful when you do this, guys. Try not to touch anyone's balls. My hand comes through to here, my frame. So you can keep that pressure, but from here, you see how I'm pushing him down, okay, and away. From here, if he tries to keep that pressure, tries to follow me, right, it's really difficult. Because if I go here, he can drop that hip here. It's really difficult to get out of the way. So I invert my hand, I frame on his thigh. And my left hand wants to change to a cross lat frame. So instead of being here, I bring my hand into his armpit. What this enables me to do, I have to clear this shoulder. I press him down and away, and I get my hips so I'm perpendicular to him. Once we're here, I have to get my ear to his sternum. There's 2 ways I can do this. I can drive off my toes here and lift my hips, flare my elbow. And now from here, imagine you're a mechanic sliding out underneath a car, right? I'm sliding to here. This gets my ear to his sternum. I can then take my hand out, run this direction, do that back-heisting action because my elbow is now close to my hip. We can get up. Now I take front headlock. When you take front headlock, you want your shoulder in between your shoulder blades. So we're going to sprawl out our legs. So that way, if I go to here, he just tackles my legs and puts me back down. Okay? So we need to make sure when we secure front headlock, we take the right stance. Shoulder in between the shoulder blades. My other leg back. My shoelaces are on the ground. I'm controlling his elbow. We take this position here. So from here, put in a cross lat. My other hand frames here. Okay, we get perpendicular to him. The other way you can take him up overhead is using your knee to kind of bump him. Especially if he's, can you move down further towards my hips? If we're someone like this, I got a bump, it can be kind of hard. Where if I use my knee, my thigh on his ribs, I can move him a lot further. Now, you won't always be able to do this in one action. You might have to do bump, 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 bump to get my ear to his sternum and then go out the back door. And then we take that front headlock. With this next escape, we have to get to this frame here. So if you come down, you see how my 2 elbows are like one's on his sternum, the other one's on his shoulder line. And both hands are gripping his shoulder here. This is the one we need to get to. So we start here. He's got that frame, he's dropping that hip. So I have to get this elbow in. So the first one we got to do is a little bump so I can get this in here. Now that I've got this frame here, what I'm going to look to do is another bump, and I'm going to lift both elbows, right? As I bump and lift both elbows, you see how, put all your weight onto me, take your knees off the floor. You see how here, Alex, come sit on his back, right? So I've got these strong frames here, and I'm preserving this space because I'm using my forearms, my elbows Okay, this is what preserves the space. If you hop off now. So we have to get to here. Okay, once I've got this bit of space, I can then slide and get my nose to his sternum. Very similar to the previous one. The previous one, we brought our ear to the sternum. This time, you've got to get your nose towards the sternum. Okay, so initially, he's dropped that hip. I have to get this elbow in to get that second frame, right? This serves two purposes, right? I can hit this escape, plus it also allows me to take that pressure off because his weight's going through his ribs and his sternum. So if I bump here and now he goes to put all that weight and pressure, you can hear it in my voice. Like there's no pressure. So both hands are here. I'm now going to bump, lift my elbows, and then slide out like a mechanic. Now I'm going to insert my right knee into his armpit. Okay, my left leg is going to fire up and over the top. Now from here, I'm going to take my left elbow, and this is the key to actually getting the submission. Most of the time when you do this, he will recognize the submission danger and he'll immediately pop up. If you recognize the danger, it'll be like this. I go here and we end up squaring up. If you want to submit him, I have to get this frame. We bump, we get this knee in, we get to here. Now, what I'm going to look to do, I'm going to slide my elbow down towards here and I bring my elbow down. You won't get the tap here. What I have to do is then take a scoop grip of his leg. I'm going to flare my knees and kick down towards Vincent. As we take him up and over, okay, we end up here. Now, I should keep pressure with this the whole time, but I took it off because I can kind of talk through the next piece. It's my elbow coming back and down, and my hand going towards here. As I start to sit back, we can get the break. Now, why do we need this grip here? So this position is referred to as quarter juji gatame. So juji gatame just means, translated means cross pin. So from here, this would be a full juji gatame. I have a torso leg, I have a crossface leg. This would be 3/4. This is called shoulder senkaku. And for some reason, this is called the pillar juji. I don't know why, but these are the different types. Then you've got quarter juji gatame. This is by far the weakest. Okay, it's the weakest because I don't have a torso leg. So, and part of the reason I want this lat pinch, as opposed to if it slips and I come to here, right, I have to use two hands to control him. It's very easy for him to escape. That first escape that we just did, where he runs his legs away, keep turning and running, you can get out. That's the problem we're going to have to deal with. So by keeping a lat pinch and holding onto this leg, he goes to run away. He's not going anywhere. And from here, we can break him with one arm. So he's got that pin. First, I've got to get this elbow in. Okay, so my hand moves to here, right? Thumb in his armpit. We give a little bump. We get our elbow in. Now I bump, lift my elbows, and get my head to his sternum. My knee is going in here. Now, oftentimes, if he's too far up, right, it'll be really hard to get this cross-face leg over the top. So what I'll do, once I get my knee in, right, I'm looking to pull him down. Okay, so this pulls him down, then my cross-face leg comes over. My elbow then slides down. See how I'm externally rotated here? I'm not sliding down like this. Tom will tell you there's not much pressure here. I want to pinch my elbow to my hip, grab my butt. Okay, we then take a scoop, kick him up and over. I sit all the way up, and from here, start to slide back, and there's the break. Done at speed. This is what it'll look like. We want to make sure it's tight the entire time. Don't give him any space. All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1. With that first escape, when he brings his hand to my thigh and he brings that cross lat in, okay, the way to shut out this escape is to unlock my hands and go to a reverse crossface. So if I go to here, okay, he goes to hit that escape, he can bump, he can try and get out. I'll even give you the space. Go out the back door. Yeah. Right? Because he can't get his ear to my sternum. Same thing here, right? Do that second escape. So as he goes to do that second escape, so because he can't get his ear or his nose to my sternum. So this shuts out both of those escapes. How do you deal with this? This is why, as I said, I don't want your hand like this. Because if he sits and pins it, then you can't pull it back out. Whereas if I go here, I can always pull it back out. I have this cross lat in the first one. As he unlocks his hands and he goes to put that reverse crossface in, I'm going to grab his wrist. Okay, you've got to be ready for this. I take my hand out and I'm going to lock up an American lock. Okay, it seems like it's not going to be strong. I'm locking this tight. The way out of the American lock, by the way, is usually straightens out his arm. You try to straighten out your arm, it's not going anywhere. Now, what I do is I bridge and go this way, and you can take him up and over. Now, in terms of finishing, right, it's going to be a low percentage finish. I'm not saying you can't finish here, but we want to make sure you keep his arm shelved. You don't want his elbow in your hip. Okay, if he had his elbow in my hip, other elbow, right, from here it'd be very hard to finish, but if we can keep it shelved, right, he loses the ability to kind of frame on me. I'm going to bring his elbow down towards his hip and look to lift it. This is one you've just got to be ready for. This is why I take that cross lat, right? I'm trying to hit that first one. He unlocks his hands, right? I grab his wrist. As soon as he goes to bring it in, I grab his wrist. I take my hand out, and we lock up this American lock. Now from here, I keep it in tight to my body, and I'm going to look to bridge towards him. He has no choice but to go with it. I step up and over. And from here, I get my elbow to the other side of his head. I keep his other elbow shelved. We bring his elbow down towards his hip. Small lift. And there's your finish. Okay, finish probably going to be relatively low percentage, but as a reversal, it's not only like really, once you get your hands together, high percentage, but it's really embarrassing. It's really embarrassing if that happens to you. All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1.